So I decided to record video explaining more or less what's the work I do when I rework all the models and just don't know, add new animations, add new details, or make the peoples, the soldiers that sit on tanks, and make the wheels spin, which also depends upon if you have the right DLL. So since Gagarin asked me to rework one model, which is this one made by Major Pain, which in my opinion looks really awesome, and he wants me to make the pitbulls, I decided to record this to show you so that maybe it turns out useful and some of you decide that, well, I could do that myself, it's not that complicated, because you'll see it's not a complicated work. So first of all, if you open the model under resource editor, you'll see well, the model that's what Blitzkrieg 3 should have been, and you'll see the parts. So this up to here are parts, and this is what we call locators. So you'll see that, but these are the different parts the model has. The model may have up to 15 parts until the game crashes. You'll see the parts are not attached to each other, and it's like if the model had exploded. So we can always have that maximum number of 15 parts, and well, based on that we can make the wheel spin or not, and we're gonna discuss that later. And this is what we call the locators, and are the special points of firing for people to enter or leave the vehicle, sorry, the exhaust points, the fire, smoke points, and so on. So this first step consists in opening the tanks viewer, and since I don't have the original model, of course we'll have to import it into Maya, and because of that I have to remake everything. Of course not the mesh itself, not the model itself, but the locators, the animations, and so on, if I want to have the peoples. So let's try to export this. As you can see, it worked, because well, that's actually strange. I wanted to show you that if you have Cyrillic characters, it doesn't work, but anyway, you have to manage to export it as an object. If it doesn't work, you can delete the name. Okay, it's gonna be exported as it's gonna be exported as 1.mod. Okay, so this file, now we open Maya, okay, and we just drag this over here. Okay, so we've got the model in Maya. Now the size is not correct. The model needs to be escalated. So in order to achieve the original model size, which may not be the right one, but let's say I trust Major Pen did a good job. The model is absolutely awesome, and I bet he got the right size, plus Gagarin didn't have any complaint about that. So okay, the size, we'll assume that it was correct, so we import it and we want to recover that size in game. So we have to scale all the parts by this factor, which is 0.062. okay, so now as you can see, we have 3, 6, 9, 12, 14 parts, but I'll show you that some of these parts can be deleted. So first of all, we're gonna see there are some parts that I'm gonna merge. There are some parts that I'm going to delete, like this one. I'm also going to delete this one, which is the gun carriage and the turret. I show you why. This part I'm gonna delete it also, and I'm gonna keep this part. I could keep this part or maybe merge it. Yeah, I'm gonna merge it with this method, and the gun is gonna be kept. The tracks, this part I'm gonna delete it. Major Pain I think used that for animation. That was a good trick for saving his time. If he had the animations attached to that part, then he had like he imported that part and had the same animations for a standard animation for all the models. So now, gonna keep his copyright of course, gonna just update it. Now the tracks, as you can see, there are 1, 2, 3, up to 10 rollers, to 10 pairs of rollers. That would leave us like three parts, which is one for the tracks, another one for the bases, another one for the turret, another one for the gun carriage, another one for the gun. That would be 5 if I deleted the copyright and didn't have like gun carriage or for the turret for this part. Okay, so since most of you don't use that game tt.dll, plus these rollers are really like symmetrical, right? You won't notice probably in game that they are rolling. So I decided that for this rework, as an exception, I'm not gonna merge. Sorry, I don't wanna. I'm not gonna make each pair rotate, but only this one and this one, which are the big ones. So now, first step, as you can see, I deleted some parts. Now I have to merge and some others and separate other ones. So let's go for it. Now I want to mix these two parts. So I go to polygons, modeling, okay, polygons, combine, okay. Now I delete history. Okay, I'm gonna rename this part to main gun, as in the original Blitzkrieg. I'm gonna merge, sorry, these two parts, okay, as gun carriage. It's gonna be renamed. Double click here, gun carriage. Okay. Now this is the basis. Okay, so I'm gonna rename it as basis. This could be the whole MG, no problem with that. I'm gonna rename that as turret. Yeah, okay. Now I'm gonna separate this. Okay, I'm gonna create like 3 different parts. I hold my control key, drag here, and select. I combine these parts. It's gonna be the cut key. Now for the rest of the parts, again, get all light type history. I'm gonna select this. This is gonna be the tracks. Okay. So now the rest, as you can see, is just those rollers, the front ones and the back ones. Now I'm gonna do it like I do it in CSLA, right? Which is like, I'm gonna rename this as front wheels 01, and this is gonna be 02. So for now, we've got like 4 parts, 6 parts, 10 parts. Of course, I could have some rollers rotate and the other ones no, but that wouldn't make sense. Like, why some of those would rotate and the other ones no. Okay, so I've got more or less the model like I like it to have it. As you can see, this is the line, the ground line, and the model must lie just over this line. This is the y-axis, okay? So the model must be pointing there. And now, this is the UV map. This is the UV map, which is what you guys paint when you do a skin. Major Paint did something really intelligent, which is like having a series of models, and he would just make a UV map, a general UV map, and just fill those gaps with the different details for different units. So I could just leave this here, but just in case, like, let's say Gagarin asked me to add a detail or something, I'm gonna move it, because if I go and export the UV map, only this square is gonna be exported, and this won't be exported. There's probably one more elegant way to do what I'm going to do, but I'm gonna show you how I move this here, keeping the same coordinates more or less. Because if I just like move it as I want to, it's gonna be okay, but I'm gonna lose like the old skins will look bad. So now I take a cube, for example, just do a planar mapping on any plane. Okay. Sorry if my computer just like it's blocked. As you can see, the squares here. Okay, this is the mapping for the square. So I'm gonna put this line here, and I'm gonna put it just on the top. Gonna just drag the line. So I select everything. I select UV map. You're gonna see it turns out in green dots. And excuse me again, because it's gonna take long. Okay. So now I select the W key. Select the W key, and I get this. I drag it with my mouse, just holding the right and middle button and dragging the mouse. I zoom in and zoom out, and just I'm zooming, and you'll see that no detail difference can be noticed if I zoom that much. So I put the line there, and I can delete the cube. So that more or less guided me. And you'll see that the original skin is maintained, right? Okay, now next step, we have to recenter all the parts. So for that, there's a Maya help document which was released with the Blitzkrieg help pack, which is quite useful. And it has like the basic explanations and the basic code. So this code allows me to center all the parts. If I don't center, the model is gonna look like large, like when I export it before scaling it. So now look, I open this tab, just paste it, and now everything's centered. Those coordinates are changed, and the scale turns into 1. Same thing for turret, same thing for this part, same thing for this part, and we just go on. Tracking tracks from wheels 1 and from wheels 2. Okay, so this done, would say like all the parts are centered, but of course they're gonna, for example, the wheels are gonna rotate around this axis, and they look okay. But what about, for example, the gun carriage? It's gonna look weird, right? So what I need to do, just move the pivoting point. In my computer is the insert key, right? I press F to center this, and I move the pivot. Now I'm moving the pivoting point, right? Okay, again insert, go to the original state, back to the original state, and with this code I'm centering it without losing, I can center it to a point which is not the center of gravity of the part, and now you see that it rotates as it must, without need of creating an auxiliary part which saves us the number of parts and allow us to invest them in other things like rotating wheels in my case. Same thing for the turret. As you can see, it's really on the top, and I'm gonna use this part here as the my reference point. As you can see, if I hide the turret just right here up, there is this part, so the turret must be centered with this part. Now the pivoting points, more or less, it's almost here, which is the main point, but I'm gonna move it just because I don't want to mess the model up. I want to just, I want my work just to be, of course, respectful with the original one and not to mess things up, to add a few things. So same idea. And finally, I'm gonna do this for this part. The gun carriage should be enough, and I'll add it somewhere in the back. Although this part is small, so it won't make a big difference. However, I can check it like in game, with the E key. I can see how it looks like, or maybe it should be a little bit more toward the outside. Let's see if this looks better. Yeah, it won't move that much, right? So should be okay. Now this done. Let's go for the next step, which is parenting. Okay, so in models, if you open them in tanks, you're gonna see that there's this tree in which trucks or bases is normally the highest one. This is because it's the main parent. What trucks do will be followed by the rest of the parts. If trucks part moves like 10 meters in the y direction, the rest of the parts are gonna move in the same direction. So let's make trucks to be the parent. So cat key is gonna be, and front wheels 01 and 02 gonna be sons. So I select this and I select trucks in the last place, and then edit parent. Okay, now main gun is gonna be a son of gun carriage. Gun carriage is gonna be a son of turret. Turret's gonna be a son of bases. HULMG and major pane copyright gonna be a sons of bases, and base is gonna be a son of trucks. Okay, this is done. Now let's go for the constraints. So this is where the magic for the rotating wheel starts. As you can see, it's named front wheel 01, and the name is not arbitrary. But then I go to this tab here, front wheels, rotate X limits, because they are rotating around the X axis. And we do this. We just set the limits, just to see if you, maybe you knew that, but just pay attention recently. As you can see in models, there's a horizontal constraint and a vertical constraint. The horizontal constraint is in, well, all the constraints are in radians, and as you probably know, 360 degrees are 2p radians, which are 6.22 blah blah blah. So this means the turret is rotating from 360 to minus 360. And we were talking about, well, it's a different thing, but I have to do it anyway. So around the x-axis, and I do this. And from the gun carriage, let's say, I'm gonna take the calculator just a second. So yeah, it's up to 15 degrees, and the minus is -5. So it's from plus 15 to minus 5, just to keep the original constraints, right? So it's this. And finally, for the hull one, it was from 0 to plus 10. Okay, so this should be 0 and 10. Finally, you have to put the recoil thing. The recoil things goes it's done in the same way, but it's not a rotate constraint but a translate one in the y-axis. So the maximum is gonna be 0.86, and this could be like displaced a little bit. This is the recoil length. I haven't found a way to associate this number to a Maya number yet, but well, it's more, it's not a science thing, but could be, for example, this, right? Okay, so now the model is almost done. Of course, it lacks locators and animations, which could be exported. This is the AABB box. If you have worked with the XML file from models, you may have heard this name. So it's this box, which I'm gonna hide. This box is needed if you want to export a model. So now my Maya sometimes messes up with me, and it may not let me export the model. Yeah, awesome. It got blocked while recording a video. But now I could just export the model, export the TGA file for skinning and so on. Well, see, it doesn't let me change the folder. Anyway, we're gonna keep working on this. And well, now I'm gonna go for the animation thing, and I'm gonna go for the locators thing. And if we've got time, I'm gonna show you the people's trick. So first of all, I've got the file called animations, in which I've got all the animations. Mathcad taught me everything, but I've got this file, and yeah, it saved me a lot of time, because instead of making all the locators every single time, I just drag and drop. So as you can see, there are 6 death animations, 5 fatality animations. The first one starts at moment 10, ends at 19, starts at 20, the second one ends at 29, and so on. Last one goes to from 150 to 169. So this is the animations file, and I'm going to show you how I make the animation. I'm not going to say it's the most awesome way to do animations, of course, but it works more or less fine with Blitzkrieg. It depends a little bit upon your animations. Of course, I'm not gonna show you how. I'm not gonna do all the animations, not because I don't want you to see how I make them, of course, but because it's gonna take like 15 minutes which are a little bit nonsense. So for example, I select tracks, and by pressing the S key, I fix the point. So I fix the star points. Of course, the model is untouched. 19. Okay, because the fatality animations in my sham are a little bit longer. So now I moved to the last point, but I could be moving to 15, but the most important one is the last point, and I'm gonna just rotate it a little bit. Just move it. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna say this guy is doing the same thing. Why? 11 different animations. Well, when you are playing and you destroy 2 times the same time and it goes exactly the same way, it just looks awful. So yeah, now it's like shaking. That's a little bit stupid. So let's go for the basis. We're gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna show you the turret thing is like the most complicated one and maybe the most spectacular one, but that's why it's more time consuming. Okay, so now it could be like doing this, for example. Could be this. Of course, the the greater the number of parts you have is, the more amazing your animations can be. I mean, imagine it has some boxes here. You want them to jump around. Of course, you have to make them as separate parts. Um, let's say, for example, this, a little bit less. Yes, less. This, oh, yeah. Okay, okay. And now the final trick, which I think it works fine. It makes it look better, and it was taught by Mathka, which was my teacher. You make the tongue jump. You may say like, okay, that's stupid. Why is it jumping? That wouldn't happen, and so on. But if you have played Blitzkrieg or something, you have seen that everything like shakes a little bit, and that makes you more the impression that the tongue is being blown up. So when it goes fast, because this is like really fast in game, just you won't notice it was jumping, right? So now we would have like the last parts, which would be for me the gun carriage and the turret, and maybe even the front wheels to be animated, but I'm gonna skip that for now. Maybe one day I can just show you in a different video what I do. And now I'm gonna add the locators. So this file is really useful. Just go, you need a main gun locator for the main gun. You get this, L main gun. So I'm gonna put it here. As you can see, my melee skills are not something awesome. I mean, I just know little small tricks, and probably they could be done even better. The coaxial main gun, machine gun. The basis or the hull gun. You may be wondering, why isn't there a main gun for a different part for the barrel? Well, it won't actually have a recoil or something, so I can omit that. We need one fatality smoke point. That's why maybe you have seen some models won't have fire when they are destroyed. Well, they are missing the fatality smoke point. I normally, in all my models, they are up to 5 fatality of smoke points, but I think that's a mistake of mine. Like that's like something I have been doing for years, and that's probably wrong because only one of them is used. But anyway, like it won't make the game crash, it won't make the model like heavier. But yes, of course it will make it heavier, but it's not even 1 kilobytes on, so you won't see the difference. There's no, I mean there's no real difference for the game or for the user. So let's say this is the smoke point. Now we can have to up to, for example, 6 points of the smoke, 6 different points of smoke. Okay, so in my method I drag them to the same place. Now just give this one here, 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 maybe one here, and another one here. Okay, so now I'm gonna take this one, rotate it a little bit because the smoke's not going to the same place all times. Every single time or always. Okay, so now I'm missing the exhaust point, which I'm gonna place here. The zit must point towards the front of the effect. So as you can see, the main gun one points towards the plus y axis, and this one's gonna point up to the sky from here. Okay, another one, let's say, is the L people one. Only one is not. Again, I normally put 2. I used to put 2. Well, that's stupid, but you know, it's like bad habits you take. So I'm gonna put more or less here. I'm gonna put a towing point because, well, it's not expected to tow anything, a carriage or anything, but just in case, if anytime someone decides, oh, like in GZM, the model is gonna be towed by another tank or something, or that saves us from needing to remake the model again. Plus, if you don't use it, nothing happens. Like the model is gonna remain unchanged, and it depends upon what you do in the resource editor. So I'm gonna put some explosion points, okay, which are the points for where for the model to blow up. Well, the locators are done. So all these locators may go up to the bases, or they are normally linked to the bases, right, because they follow the hull. This one goes to the main gun, of course. This one goes to the gun carriage because it has the machine gun, and this one is gonna go to this part, OMG. Okay, so now the locators are done. Some of the animations are done but not finished. Plus, they would need some ABB boxes for for the fatality animations, but that's another thing. That's like not the most important thing at the moment. So I'm gonna reopen and see if Maya lets me export the model. Yes, it sometimes works, right? It was exported fine. Now you'll see, I'll drag it here. open an old skin, and as you can see it fits perfectly, like no changes. mm, well, now the model would be finished. Of course it needs the animations, but like we would say I have restored the model or I have obtained a .mb file, and you're gonna say like, well, that's not Gagarin. What Gagarin asked you. Gagarin asked you to make the people, so the soldiers that sit in the tank. That's right. So what I'm gonna do now is just create those peoples. So I suggest like doing a copy. Okay. And why is it so important to have the original files? Because you need to know those numbers for the original model. If not, I could just put the soldiers here and in game they would be floating here or no matter what. So I'm gonna just take something and just mark which those numbers are. 0. Okay, so I have copied them into a paper, right? Okay, so now I can delete this and this. I won't delete the paths yet because I need to know where they are sitting. So I'm gonna drag the soldier file. I'm gonna put a couple of them. This is heavy file, so if you see my laptop lag, it's because of that. I think it's a Maya thing. It's not a laptop thing. Although it's giving me headaches. Let me see if. Well, I don't know if they could. Yeah, I mean, they are not sitting right there. They're just. Okay, so for example, one soldier could be here. I'm sorry if there's someone would say, "Oh my God, they should be sitting in a better place" or something. So I'm gonna center the model because it's gonna make it easier to rotate it and get more parts. This one already has the UV map here, so it's okay. I don't need to do anything. Just gonna rotate it a little bit so they don't look all the same. Get over here and more centered. He's gonna be here. Okay, this one's gonna be rotated. Another guy is just going to sit here. Finally, one here. As you can see, there are 7 soldiers. They could be. I could put more, but the idea is to give the impression soldiers are like sitting on the tank. They are up to, maybe you know it. There are like 6 people's files, which are 6p, 5p, 4p, 3p, 2p, 1p. 1p is when there's only 1 passenger, 2p of course 2 passengers, 3p I guess you can know it's 3 passengers, and so on. 6p is for 6 passengers or more. So I could just put 100 soldiers here, but if you only have 6 passengers, 100 soldiers are going to be displayed. So middle term is always a good idea, like not showing a bunch of them, not 6, because probably gonna be like 8 in that depends upon how many passengers you wanted to carry in the XML file. So I'm gonna rename this as peoples. I'm gonna center the whole pack, and now the trick comes. If I export this now like this, I mean I delayed the tank and so on, which is something I can already do. They're gonna be like, they won't match with the model. So my trick is doing the following thing: duplicate the part. Now move this part and put the numbers we had for the tracks part of the tank before. Okay. Now you go to vertex and move them so that their pivot points not change, but you overlap them with their copy, so you know they are in the exactly the same place, right? Okay, more or less, right? So I can delete the copy, and you're gonna see like these points are matching the track ones for the tank, and you're gonna see that this point down there more or less in the middle of the tracks, right? So this is done. We just need one ABB box, AABB box. Okay, I'm gonna start exporting. This is gonna be 6p as I told you. Okay, thank you, Maya. Same shit again, but now it's a thing about exporting, right? Okay. (6p), and I'm gonna start deleting peoples to have like exactly sorry, like 5 people, because now it's gonna be 5p, so maybe I could be deleting this one. Now there's 6, have to delete another one. No, just to balance it a little bit. But those are normally not noticed because normally you just put like 8, 10 soldiers on a tank, so no one notices the 3p or the 4p. But anyway, it has to be done. Yeah, this and this. Export this. Oh, thank you, Maya. That was awesome. I'm having a good day. It sometimes happens. I don't know if it's a Windows 10 thing or something. Well, I don't want to kill the model, so I'm gonna redo it again. But you know, we've got the 6p, right? Maybe heavy, so you won't be able to. No, it's okay, but you have it. I need the skin for them. Let's do this again. Same file, of course, because if you just move them a little bit or make them every single time, it's gonna look weird because they're gonna be like shaking, you know, when they're gonna be moving. That could be an idea, of course. You could say, well, they would move because more people is coming, so they would make less place for them. But well, that's a matter of tastes, and that could be a debate. Okay, so it's not working. Oh, thank you. It's not working because I told you I sometimes experiences problems with the exporting thing in Maya, but it's okay. Like, just can make a copy or something. Also, that could be, for example, that's what Hungarian Blitz did, because yeah, of course I have to credit him because he's the one that taught me how to make the people's thing. I think Maska did something with them, but it was like some science thing, and we weren't sure about how it was being done. Now I know this trick works always. I mean, if done properly, don't get any mistake. So yeah. Now let's see if I can export it. No, I cannot export it, but at least I have already deleted them. That's the time. If not, I am ending the video here because you know the rest is exactly the same. Well, maybe ending it here, but you know the rest is the same. Like I would export 5p, then go and do the 4p and delete another one, and this like to up to 1p, And that would be the model thing. Um, yeah, I hope this video is a little bit useful for you. If you have any questions, I can reduce some steps lower, or maybe in another video I can show you how to make volumetric wheels or caterpillar, because maybe, I mean, there are awesome models which don't have like volumetric caterpillars or something, but maybe in 2018 the models look a little bit old, although I still enjoy the original Blitzkrieg. I have been playing vanilla these days and just love it. But I mean, like, look at this Major Paint model. It's just like outstanding, and yeah, it sometimes feels bad to be playing with the vanilla skins when you have like, oh, see, it's working, fucking awesome. 3P could be explored. Thank you. That's really kind, Maria. But if we can get more quality work like this, yeah, that would be awesome. Or that makes the game, in my opinion, or the game experience be a little bit better. I don't need the Blitzkrieg 3 graphics, but if BK1 can be improved a little bit, it's just like perfect. See, now it's working. Okay, thank you. Thank you, my dear one. 5B, but this is the boring part. Now it's not working anymore. And now it's the boring part of the video, so you can skip this. I see if my voice is properly recorded. I hope my English wasn't too bad, but I'm afraid I did a bunch of spelling and not only spelling but pronunciation mistakes and something and so on. But yeah, I hope you have seen a little bit how it works, and I would like it to be useful for you, because I feel bad, because I bet some of you would be doing it themselves if they had the time, or maybe someone to explain them how to, and maybe that helps you to say, hey, I could be just changing this or repairing this bug in that old model, or maybe, who knows, creating your own ones, right? I really enjoy this work because it's not complicated, but if you just listen to music or something, it turns out like a relaxing thing. Unless Maya starts doing its shit. Okay, I've got them all. So now we just check them. This is one, that is the model. One soldier, two soldiers, three soldiers, four soldiers, bunch of them, and 5. So this is all, guys. It's me, Kevin, and I hope you liked the video, and yeah, I'm looking forward to doing a few more videos to help you with this part of Blitzkrieg modding. Thank you for watching.